We are here at the India Economic Conclave 2025 and are joined by a very special guest, Mr. Sachin Jain, who is the regional CEO for World Gold Council. So, welcome to Times Network, sir.
Thanks so much. It's a
Thank you
pleasure
so
and
much
honor to
for
be
joining
here.
us. So, I wanted to ask you, considering your position, you must be well aware of the geopolitical, scenario that is currently going on globally. So, in these times, how do you feel that gold as an asset is supposed to, do, and what is your forecast for the coming year?
Well, geopolitics is, ironically, we've been in a world where these political tensions have been around for way too long. And if you really ask me, all of us have kind of attuned to looking at a nuclear mention almost every second day. So it's a way of life. Now, 2 years ago, in 2024, we see the big rallies happening in gold, primarily because of geopolitics. In 2025, it's been the large interest of the, generally the investor class, the central banks. So the reasons have been different. And I think in the world that we live in, if you look at the long-term drivers for gold prices, the pillars of gold prices are certainly in favor of gold. If you look at three scenarios, let's say if the world forms completely in peace, everybody, the leadership of Russia and the leadership of America and China, they're all loving each other, yes, the gold prices will perhaps go down because the world will be a very peaceful place. Will that happen? We all hope, but the chances are very little. On the other extreme end, will there be more wars and people are dropping bombs? I think that's another extreme end, which might not happen. But I think geopolitics will play a role, but the other elements of being somewhere in the middle, the investor class getting more and more sophisticated, I think with all these elements, I think gold will certainly has a potential to grow, but perhaps not as maddening as we saw in the last couple of years.
In the recent times, we know that there has been a tremendous growth of about over 50%, about 56% growth in the pricing of gold in the Indian markets as well. So you are saying that if there is a balanced approach, there is nothing to worry about. But what do you think about the retail investors, an individual investor who wants to sort of expand their portfolio beyond equity and go into gold? Do you think they should be scared, or do you think they should be completely optimistic about it?
Well, I think there are reasons to be more optimistic than be scared, is what I think. And my view really is that, as the investor class is getting a little more sophisticated, in the sense that now you're generally saying, as World Gold Council, we recommend a diversification of 10 to 15%. We don't say put everything in gold, but in India, because all of us have some gold, the perception is that gold to hai hamare paas. Should we, that's well justified. What I've recently noticed particularly last 1 year, is that every important investor is looking at scientifically and ensuring that if the gold hasn't touched 15%, that does. So I think my advice and my approach for the next year would be that I'll see that there'll be more sophisticated approach to buying gold. Products like ETFs, which are regulated digital, are gaining a lot of momentum. A simple investor on the street still doesn't know what an ETF is, so awareness is far, far away, and it's really at a cusp of growth. So investor class will grow, but I think what we also have to keep in mind is that India in general, when we see a Viksit Bharat of 2047, when our economy has a potential to be a $30 trillion economy, it really means that the per capita income of $2,800 has the potential to get to $15,000, which really means more wealth in the hands of consumers. Historically, with 1% increase in wealth, we've seen 1% growth in demand of gold. So, it has a huge upside potential of a certain class of investor, consumer, who still aspires to own gold.
So my last question to you: you have previously said that Indian homemakers and mothers and sisters are one of the smartest investors in terms of gold. Do you have any more light to shed on that, and how do you think they can become more sophisticated as an investor?
Well, you're absolutely spot on. I genuinely think, and I genuinely from my heart think, that we talk about investing and saving as two different buckets. But the Indian housewife, across India, across whichever economic strata you're in or whichever geography you're in, with small savings over the years, over millennia, you've not just got wealth and something beautiful and something precious in your home, but you've got strength for the nation. And that's what an Indian housewife has done. And I think that being the base, I think it's a good time to also look at how that can be used better. I always tell people that, more and more gold is sitting in the lockers, bring it out, wear it. It does something to your heart. It does something to how you get adored. So if I were to have a message to make, I would say investing, keep continuing, but use that gold. I think it's a great adornment, and some great products out there which you can use.
Great message. Thank you so much for speaking.
Absolutely, my pleasure. Thank you very much.